I was in therapy starting from the age of 11 years old, well into early teenagehood, probably around until I was 18, 19. Then I stopped. Then around 23, my body started shutting down. I went down to 102 pounds in a matter of months. My lover at the time couldn't even recognize me. I was losing hours of the day. I forgot what days of the week it was. I was angry, crying, felt like I was suffocating, having panic attacks all the time. And finally, I got fired. Ultimately, my ex broke up with me. Things literally up into flames. I lived on my friend's couch for a couple of months before I was able to even go back into my apartment because I sublet it so that I can live with my ex who we broke up because I was falling apart. And honestly, that relationship was unhealthy. And I did not realize that I did not feel worthy of love. Only to then find out, okay, let me go back to talk therapy. Couldn't do it. My therapist said, you need a higher level of care. Went to a borderline personality disorder clinic, got kicked out of that because my body was just too stuck. I was too emotional. I was too in fight or flight or freeze. And it was a mess, a complete mess. And the reality is that more talk therapy is not what I needed. I needed to tend to my body. And talk therapy, it's great for certain seasons of healing. It was great for the season of healing in my childhood, of course, and I'm very grateful that I was able to have it. However, it's not just until the last 10 years or so that we're seeing body based approaches even being introduced or woven into talk therapy because there's deeper understanding of the role that the body plays in healing and recovery from trauma, from any kind of past violations that one can have that may not be exactly trauma based. So, with that in mind, this was now in the last 10 years. I started my healing journey in adulthood when I was about 22, 23 years old. And a lot of adult survivors, we go to talk therapy, it doesn't work. Some of us are still in talk therapy 20, 30 years later. Some of us abandon talk therapy, and we're left to realize that talk therapy is not enough and everything is in our bodies. The adverse childhood effects study came out in 93. Body Electric, Neo Tantra, all of these other body based, sex based approaches to reconnecting to the body and weaving yourself with mind, body, and soul. Though they don't even have really a solid 50 years in the US. So many of us adult survivors have been left to figure it out. Many adult survivors are starting therapy in their late 40s, in their early 50s, living in bodies that have been speaking to them, but have very little skill of how to process, how to communicate and articulate what it is that is happening. So, all of this to say that talk therapy is for a season, and body based therapy and body based approaches, therapeutic approaches, are, I believe, foundational because what we always have to remember is that childhood sexual abuse is a physical injury. And bringing the body first into your system of healing and recovery is vital.